everybody, and thanks for coming thrifting with me. I had to block out the music because they were playing copyrighted music at the Value Village, and I didn't want to leave it in the stream. But as you can see, I found some cuties. Goku! Dating yourself seriously if you know who that is. That is Opus. He was a cartoon character back in the day. All of these great toys. There were so many toys. Some cute little cloth dolls. I loved this bike. I didn't end up bringing it with me. I had way too much stuff. This is a little Norwegian vintage doll. I have a couple of them, and they're not something I collect, but they are cute. I went over to the doll section, the more conventional doll section, because sometimes I do find things in there. I actually would love to play with an American Girl doll. I don't want to pay full price for one. I'm waiting to find one at a thrift shop. And they did have a whole bunch of My Generation dolls, and I think they had a Lotus doll. Her eyes were so pretty. I did find a couple of these guys that definitely felt like probably vintage, but I'm not really getting into the vintage hard plastics per se. I'm kind of sticking to porcelain and ceramic dolls. But you not me. How many toys? There were so many toys today. Sometimes this is not anywhere near as full, but it happened to be obviously a toy heavy day. So here's the big shmoo of dolls that I went through, and I couldn't really do it with with holding my phone and doing the dolls. I'll have to get something where I can like mount the camera. Cute penguin. But I don't think I took anything with me from that section. So now I'm in the more collectibles type area, which is always like super random. About 3 visits now in a row, they've had this cute little girl doll. And of course, they always have all kinds of great stuff. You know, I could have 8 million collections and it would not be a problem at all. I could collect so many things so easily. So I try to kind of limit myself to just the things that I do collect. This little fairy doll was so cute in the little container. So yeah, she came with me. And this is all the collectibles, like that kind of stuff. On the other side of this row is where the actual porcelain dolls always hang out. But you know, a lot of this stuff I remember seeing not cheap. Like those bells used to be a collector thing. You know, they always have tons of silver. They always have tons of china. All these things that at one point would have been very highly coveted. I love these little dress forms. I kind of have a collection of those going as well. I have a bunch. Yeah, but just stuff that used to be, you know, kind of heavy value and people just don't keep it anymore. So I got into, I think whoever donated must have been a little doll collector, because there was a whole bunch of these little kind of 4 and 5-inch guys. They were just so cute. They always have a bunch of the different types of ethnic dolls. Some of the really fun little kind of silk dressed ones and things from different places. I took this little girl. She looks like an Avon doll. I kind of looked, so I did a brief. I'll show you at the end of the video. I've put on some of my pictures, and I put on who I'd found sort of a very easy Google Lens search for and what the value on them is, because here's my receipt. It's like Jaws. $263. It's not all dolls though, so I don't feel like totally bad. This blanket was the best. It's totally asking to get plucked by that thing. It's sitting on a nice chair, but it will not stay there right now. This is actually, we filmed this in my downstairs suite, which is not being rented out right now. It's just got the kids hanging out in it and the pets. Yeah, she was like, ooh. I did find all of this absolutely gorgeous fabric. I'm actually thinking in my doll room of doing a fabric hanged ceiling, because I've got quite a collection of it now, but it's just so pretty. And you know, when I do go to make dolls for some, or dresses for some of the dolls, this kind of stuff is just so fun to work with. It's so beautiful. Here's some more dolls. You know, at $6.99, $5.99, they're not too bad at all. Like at that price, you know, they don't have to be anything that I get home and find out it's worth $1 million. They're just cute. And some of them, a lot of them are the kind of late 80s, just one of a one of a run, one of a million dolls. This girl is not. I liked her because her face mold was so different. When I'm actually at Value Village, sometimes I'll look stuff up, but a lot of the time, I don't want to be standing there for like 40 minutes looking at stuff. So there are some ways to kind of get an eye. There's the doll designer's name and she's numbered. But I'll kind of look for, different things, different. I've got enough now of sort of some of the more mass produced faces. There's Budgie, or my Budgies, Ocean and Lemon. They were singing while I was unpacking. So some of the doll molds, just the really kind of run of the mill ones, I've got so many of now that I'm really looking for a different face shape, a different mold. These dresses on these dolls were just so beautiful. Hard to imagine that, you know, they at one point were very expensive, and I can guarantee you that. Like, these are Ashton Drakes when I looked them up, and Ashton Drake dolls new were running in the hundreds of dollars. It was not as expensive as real, like, the mint, but still not cheap by any means. You can actually look this artist up. Her stuff's really cool. But she does very, very different face molds. More beautiful fabric. It's so pretty. Some of this stuff is hard to get the sheen on it though on the camera. So I have quite a collection of this stuff now. We must have, I don't know, probably 15 or 16 different kinds and different colors. So I have to decide, but you would not believe, like, so that's a 549 chunk of fabric. That's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 meters at least. I haven't measured them all, but they're big. They're generous chunks of fabric for the prices on them. That one's a silk. It was actually a scarf. More beautiful. It's all kind of sorry weight. That one is so soft. It's $7.99. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I was looking at it and I'm like, you can't buy fabric at the fabric store at that price. Like, there's just no way. This guy, this is the sleeper from doing all the research. The picture will show up towards the end here in a couple seconds, but when I looked him up, he was definitely the winner. He kind of, if I do end up at any point doing, I have a bunch of these kind of male guys. I love this kissing girl. Her face is so cute. I have a bunch of the male kind of jester looking elves. So I probably won't sell him. But when I went and looked him up, he was worth I think it's $230. I have the link to an eBay auction I found him on at the end. But yeah, not cheap for sure. Bunch of little guys. I love them with their little hats. They're just so sweet. And their faces. They seem to kind of keep in better shape than the other ones. This is a repro, I'm positive. She was in way too good a shape. I think someone got a reproduction head and handmade her. I think that's my best guess. I can't find anything on her. This guy was cute. Little boy, they had these weird little long fabric legs. Some of them I can do more research than I've done. I usually just throw them into Google Lens for kind of a quick look to see if I can figure out what any of them are. But there's so many dolls, so many dolls that it can be a bit of a muddle to run through, to be honest, because they're in their prime. There were so many dolls made in the 80s, and I've got a couple of exciting projects coming through. I got this guy. I couldn't find any information on this guy, but he looks very much like he's from the same maker as that other fella. I just couldn't find him when I was looking them up downstairs. And a Wrinkles dog! I don't know if any of you had Wrinkles as a kid. I have like 4 of them now. I had one growing up and it was my favorite stuffy. So I'm kind of collecting them now when I see them. So here's just a run through of what I got. And any of them, if I could find an auction or something on them, I posted that as well, just so you can kind of see what some of them are. But you never know too. A lot of them might be from different countries. They might be, I mean, I don't think any of these guys are particularly old. None of them show signs of, kind of past the early 90s. Sometimes I've got a few that I have to do some more research on because I think they are quite a bit older. These Ashton Drakes, there's 3 Ashton Drakes. It's kind of the 3 princesses, that one, this one, And there's one more coming up with the purple dress. That girl. They're all princesses. So this is the Princess and the Frog. There's the cat checking them out, of course. And as always, please like and subscribe to hang out with me for more thrifting and doll related videos. Have a great day.